Hello and welcome to another video about Unreal Engine 5. In this video we'll make an AI turret that can shoot at you when it sees you, and you can use this method on anything you need, maybe a tank or uh, an AI controlled gun on the helicopter or anything. This can be used on any other project. Now let's start with making the blueprint. Let's make new folder. Let's call it AI enemies. Make blueprint. You choose pawn pp underscore AA gun. In this video you will need the one of the vigilante content is the AA gun, the ZU23, and you can use any other gun, any other turret you want, but I will use this one because it is free and I can use it in my project. Because I want to make a helicopter game, I need an AA gun. First let's make I deleted the blueprints and other things that I do not need. And first let's make the animation blueprint for the gun, and now let's leave it empty and set up our blueprint. Now let's add a skeletal mesh and drag it to be the root point. Choose ZU23 and the animation blueprint also ZU23. Now also let's add pawn sensing component. Here let's adjust the sight radius 5000. Let's make it 15,000. 15,000 means 150 meters, or make it, leave it 15,000. I will change it later. I'd leave the peripheral vision like this. I wanted to see the player from any angle. Now what we need is to calculate the player position and change the rotation of the gun and the turret according to the location of the player in real time. We will use the tick, but first we need to use the pawn sensing component to check if we see the player or not. Check hashtag, actor hashtag, make a branch, the tag will be player. Now let's add the tag to our player. Now my main player blueprint is the helicopter. I already added. Now you added here the actor tags. We added a tag for the homing missile and now a tag for the player. Just make it capital to be the same. Now let's promote this to a variable. Can see player. You can use AI tree, behavior tree, but it will be more complicated. I want it to be simple. Now when you see the player, you can calculate the rotation. You do not want it to continue calculate the location because it will have a heavy performance penalty. So only when it sees the player, it can calculate the location. Now let's look at rotation. Start is the actor location, and the target is player pawn. Target location. Now we need delta rotator. Get actor rotation, the rotation of our this AI pawn. Now break the rotator. We need the yaw and pitch. Promote it to a variable, call it turret yaw. And the gun pitch. This was gone better. Now let's go to the animation blueprint, begin the play. Cast to what do I call it? AA gun. Promote to a variable. We use the cast in the beginning play only to decrease the performance hit, because if you use it here it will continue cast and will continue mostly load uh, the AI gun blueprint every frame, and this will be very hard on the performance. Now on begin the play, now let's get pitch and get yaw. Promote them to variable. Here and here. Now let's go to the animation graph. What we need here is modify transform bone. we need to mesh ref space. No, we don't need the translation. Also, we don't need the scale. Rotation, add to existing. Here the same. Do not need translation and do not need the scale. But split the now here. Let's find the bones that we need. I think the turrets. Yes, turret and gun. Here turrets. Here the gun. The pitch for the gun and the yaw for the turret. Now I will leave it on the component space, but I think we should change it to the parent web space, but let's test it first. Rotation, don't forget, add to existing. Now let's put the gun here. Let's test if it's gonna see me. See point. Let's test it. Just like I said, we need to change them to parent bone space. And we need to add some constraints, but first uh, let's make sure it is block all. Let's make sure it can look at us. Let's see why it's still sorry. Ganyo. let's multiply it by, yeah, let's multiply it by -1. Now let's test it. It's looking at us now. Let's go up. Good. Now it's looking at us. Now let's implement the shooting. Now, when it sees me, I wanted to shoot at the helicopter. Now let's make a timer by event. Set timer by event. This time will be the rate of fire. Let's make it 0.15. And let's make a custom event for the shooting. Call it fire. Let's call it shooting timer. And here in the false, we take the shooting handle and use invalidate, clear and invalidate timer by handle to stop the shooting event. Sorry, what did I do? Now let's make the fire. I will use the line trace now, or I will use the same projectile of my 30mm gun. Spawn actor from class, 30mm gun, and let's get the shooting gun. Let's make sockets for the gun. I will make two sockets, one for the right muzzle, and left muzzle. Now let's put them in the right place. So the left muzzle, left is here, right is here. No. Get socket transform, and let's copy the name. This one, right muzzle, and we now let's get the left muzzle. Now let's test. This is because I implemented the damage before. Let me show you the projectile. What you need is it's not because the projectile caused damage. Yes, I know now, because we implemented the hit and impact damage. Because it's considered as the impact damage. Now we implement the damage. I put the apply radial damage. We can use it here on component hit. Previously in the previous videos I used on projectile stop, but I changed it to the let me show you here better. Now let's get projectile stop, and in the projectile stop function that I made, first I add the apply radial damage with fall off, set the base damage, minimum damage, and red and origin. Let me make it again here. Apply radial damage with fall off, base damage variable we made before, and the minimum damage also I set the base damage to 100 and the minimum damage to 25, and the damage inner radius I set it for the 30mm and 100, and for the inner, and 250 for the outer radius, but I change it in the rockets and the homing missile. Damage fall off 1, and the channel of damage visibility I used bracket result location. Now I will stop using this. Also, in the old video that I showed you how to make the projectile, we implemented the emitter system at location, and decolor. This is for another video I'll make the future. I will show you how to make impact effects for for every surface, different for every surface. Now emitter, I mean system at location. For the Niagara effects that we have, we need to make rotator from Z, not from X, because the primary axis is the Z axis. Make rotator not from Z, and 30mm shell. Now let's test it. Shoot above us, and it now I will implement the damage. Now I got destroyed because it is what was considered as impact damage, as if I was colliding with a wall or the ground. Now let's implement the damage in the helicopter. First we need let's add a tag in our projectile to prevent it from doing collision damage. Tag, call it projectile. Let's copy it. Let's get back to our helicopter. Now actor has tag, branch, if it is the projectile, it should be false. It should do nothing. If it was anything other than projectile, should. Let's test it. Doesn't cause any damage to me. Hits the wall. Now let's implement the damage to our helicopter. Remember, I used the radial damage in the projectile here. Radial damage would fall off. So in the helicopter, radial damage, event radial damage. Now let's get our health that we set before minus the received damage. Now set the health, but we need to clamp it before we set the health. Means 0 and 100, or sorry, I already made the function. We make functions to make our life easier, not to repeat everything when. Now the same function we made before, now we use it in our impact damage. I forgot about the function. Now let's test. I'm dead. It has high rate of fire. Now the concept is right now. I think the video is becoming long. I will stop here, and for the next video I will try to make the gun predict the movement of the helicopter and make it accurate when we move, so that it will have some challenge when we make a game with it. Because right now it is, if you are stationary it can hit you, if you move they cannot hit you. So we should make it adjust for the speed and direction of the helicopter. But this will be for the next video. Thank you for watching.